goes off out of the capsule and floats away. Someone's knocking on his capsule door. We're just gonna
No, someone was
give.
knocking at like my door of my room. Come here. Come
Was it
over
the
here.
dog in your
Yeah, no.
capsule? I was
He's
saying,
angry.
yeah, I'll say it sounds
Is it
vicious.
growling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's angry.
Well, he's growling at the other dog in the
Look,
capsule.
look.
It's like,
You're on
you
TV.
cheating on me?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Where is that? You guys ever use Signal, the desktop version of Signal?
No, never.
No, didn't even know there was one.
There is, and if you close it out and you forget to open it, it has to load everything before it turns on, and it's it's thousands and thousands of messages that it has to load. Okay, let me just stop that. That's not going to work.
All right.
Are we
So for
live?
the sake of the one viewer that's watching, other than myself,
That's you.
we're gonna start in like a minute or two. We're just waiting, giving people time to join because Dax is actually relatively on time for once. So yeah.
Thank you. I think. I don't know what to say to that.
So backhanded compliment.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if that was a compliment or not, or what. I'm trying to look at this. Okay. I will send you guys what I'm talking about, and let me know if this makes any sense to you, like the last sentence in this paragraph. I don't know if you guys want to check your phones. I just sent it to Signal. You read it already, right, Darren? You know the one I'm talking about from Transport Canada?
Probably.
Yeah. It could just be
Oh,
me.
this one, yeah.
Okay. It could just be me where I just don't understand the last sentence.
The last sentence in the question or the answer?
Or in the answer, in the response. Where it says the same process.
No, I think that's just saying that if in a future date, even though no Tesla qualifies anymore for any rebate, that if at some point in the future this happens again, that the same process will happen if you ordered before the price change, but you take delivery after, you will still get the rebate.
Oh, okay.
That's how I read it, at least.
Did you want to like start so we can actually discuss this because it'll make more sense to the viewers?
Yeah, I know. I feel bad that
we're like 3 minutes in and we're like partly discussing what we're going to talk. Okay.
I apologize. Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's start.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to a Tesla Talks. Hey, everyone, welcome back to a Tesla Talks podcast. I can't believe it. This is episode 367 already. Can't believe we've done that many.
Your count's a little off.
I don't know
it's
how
actually, it's 420.
Oh, okay. That's what we normally say. It's been so long, I've been so busy. My co-hosts Franklin and Darren, they're willing to come on and do it, but it's just me. So, all jokes aside, always happy to be here, and we're going to talk some Tesla.
Yes. Thank you for that introduction, I guess. Franklin sort of did it because what we were saying off the air is my voice is going. Long story, but my voice is going, so I'm going to do my best throughout the night here. And if it goes halfway through the show and my voice starts cracking like a teenage boy, then it is what it is. But I want to welcome, of course, Franklin, but he just introduced himself, and we want to welcome Darren from Drive Tesla Canada. Welcome back to the show, Darren.
Thanks for having me, Dax.
No, thank you for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule. We were saying off air that every time I do this and I ask you to come on, and it's 9 p.m. Eastern time here in the Toronto area, I neglect to remember that it is a different time. I mean, I know it's a different time zone, but I forget to remember what time of day it is for you. And I, like I said, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and your family to come on this silly little podcast.
It's my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Thanks. And if like I wonder what you're, I know you're so on the ball with all the Tesla and EV news that drops at a moment's notice, and within minutes you have it up on your website. Like, do you have like minions working for you when you're wasting your time on this show that 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 they take over? Because I
Uh,
hate to take you away from like breaking news.
oh no, I'm not going to reveal all my secrets.
Mm, okay, maybe I shouldn't have asked you that. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, he does
Putting
a
it,
spectacular job, doesn't he? Like, you're always the first. I always try to tweet you out on Twitter whenever I can to give you some sort of not just recognition, but like a thank you for all the work you've done. Um, but your articles are not only generally first, like you cite everything, and your writing style is spectacular. So, really appreciate
Thanks.
everything you do. So,
Thanks, and I appreciate those shout outs you do on Twitter.
um, just
so
go ahead, Franklin. I
you
was
want to
going to
jump
say,
into our first topic?
yeah, I'm just trying to get it here. Um,
Let's talk money.
you know what? I just realized. I'm on a. Oh, let me see if it works. I'll give it a try. I'm on a newer computer. Can you hear me still? Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if it works. I'm on a newer computer, so I don't know if it'll allow me to open the tabs. I should have checked this ahead of time, but can you guys see anything now? Oh,
yep.
yeah, it did. It worked.
Yep.
Okay. That would have been interesting if it didn't work. Our first topic, and I apologize. I try to be as international and as inclusive as I can in all the topics when we do these podcasts. Um, but in this case, and we will be throughout the night. But this first story is a little Canadian centric and only deals with Canada, but it doesn't. It doesn't. We'll get into it in the discussion, and it's basically about the once again another price increase or the ongoing price increase that Tesla's. I hate to say it is so well known for lately. Like I don't know, any of you guys have you guys been counting how many consecutive weeks are we going at now?
I've I've honestly stopped keeping track.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just so many.
yeah.
There's
Well,
at least 2 a month, it seems, these days.
yeah. It, it's crazy, and everyone keeps saying, "When's it going to stop? When's it going to stop?" Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, do you guys agree, or maybe I'll get your take on it, and we'll get into the discussion about the actual article here in a second. But your take on it is it strictly the supply chain, the global supply chain and part shortage that's driving the price up, or do you think it's Tesla trying to curb demand? What do you guys think?
I think it's both, probably more so trying to keep a tap on demand.
Yeah,
They just can't keep up with just Fremont and Shanghai going right now. So I think it's more to do with that, but probably part supply issues have something to do with it as well.
what do you think, Franklin, and your friend behind you?
Um, that was my answer. I think both is more or less what they're going for because they have a demand problem. Not the demand problem people thought initially 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
of course.
So if you have a large customer base that's waiting and you can basically make more profit, why would you not, right? It doesn't make sense. And then obviously there is a part shortage, so it does cost more to get those parts, so prices have to go up. So it's probably a combination where they had to increase the prices, and at the same time they're also making a little bit more money, which isn't a bad thing, right?
Yeah, no, you know what? You can't fault them at all for um, being a company, being a business, and being in it for profit. Now, when people have asked me in the past couple weeks, and even more so this week as it keeps going up here, because let's face it, anyone that doesn't know, let's just recap. It started out with the U.S. prices going up and up and up and up, and our prices didn't move here in Canada. But then, rest assured, they did start moving upward as opposed to lowered, and yeah, they went up. So now we're feeling it, and apparently it's not one of our topics. But Darren, you mentioned on your website today that China actually started raising their prices. Is that the first time that China's actually increased their price?
No, it's actually the second time
The
in
second. Okay.
less than a week.
Oh, okay. I must have missed the first one. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I have you on. Here's my theory on it, and you guys tell me if you agree or disagree, and feel free to disagree if I'm wrong. I could be way out there. My feeling on this whole thing, it's one of those, I don't know if this is the right terminology, self perpetual things where I agree with you guys. Tesla is trying to curb or slow down the demand by raising the price. But I think, and I have no inside information, this is just my theory. I think by them doing that, it actually, I would love to see the orders and on a chart, on a like some kind of graph or chart or something, to see if whenever they raise the prices, if there's a spike right after that with people ordering. Because I think my theory is that when they raise the prices, people order more because now they're scared. Oh, it's that whole regret. I should have ordered it last week, or I should have ordered it last night and saved myself. Like now I don't want to get screwed even more. So I'm going to order now because as we've seen, as the trend is showing that it's trending up, that people are like, okay, it's going to go up again. So let me be smart this time and not get messed up again, and let me lock it in. Do you think that could be something that they're trying to curb it, but really they're just inviting more orders?
I think they have an idea of. So they have all the data, right? We just kind of speculate on
Oh yeah.
what they do, which is the fun part, right? But they have all the data, so there's a trade-off, right? They can keep raising the prices, and you're going to keep getting orders to a certain point. So I feel like it's optimization on their part, where from their perspective, you want to raise the price point to the highest point possible, where they're still going to make money, but you're still going to get the most amount of orders possible. So I get what you're saying, but I think it's more along the lines of them doing fine-tuned adjustments to optimize sales, and like it's not just sales; it's sales versus profit, and there's a balance, right? So they obviously know, hey, if we increase the prices by X amount, we're not going to lose any sales, so why not do it, right? So I think that's part of the equation. Probably factors in more so than them doing it to get like hype demand, right, of orders. But I do understand that perspective because, like, just in our local Discord chat today for Tesla owners, people are like, "Oh yeah, put in your orders before the prices increase more," right?
Well, that's
So
it. It seems that that's the knee jerk reaction now, automatically.
yeah. So I get what you're saying. There's definitely a trade off, right? But I don't know. I think ultimately they're a business that wants to make profit, right? And that's the perspective you gotta I take because that's probably what they're looking at as. So
Yep.
they're doing it for that reason, right? But in terms of like the price change here, so we recently like it doesn't apply to our incentive anymore. Or you want to talk about that or?
Yeah, I have it. I don't know if you guys can see as I'm scrolling through here. Um, Previously, it was 56,380, and that's with some fees and stuff like that. By the time you take that out, it was $10 below as of last night, before what was it, 5 p.m. Pacific time. It was $10 below the ceiling for our federal rebate here in Canada, which is 55,000. So it was like, I guess, $54,990. Now with the increase, it's well past that. It's actually $59,990. Darren has it broken down here to what it actually is with the fees out. I think somewhere.
No, I don't think I actually did that one.
No.
But
Oh, okay.
it's like 1830, so it's like 57 something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And then of course the go ahead. Go ahead, but
Oh, I was gonna say here's the thing, right? Whatever the numbers work out to, the exact numbers don't matter too much.
no, it doesn't matter.
I, so Tesla's done this, and I'm not saying for Canada. They've done this in many places that they sell the cars. If there is a incentive or rebate of some sort, they usually try to tweak the numbers to help the customer get that. it would not be their first time where they find a way to drop the price to get it back under, and then recoup the cost elsewhere after purchase. Um, I don't know how they're going to do it, but again, I would not be shocked if like in a month from now or a couple of weeks, like they come out with new pricing adjustments, right? To basically bring this back, because I know the government said that they worked with the manufacturers, but I have to imagine the government basically said, "Hey, we're making this change," and Tesla said, "Hey, we're making this change," and they just kind of corresponded together. And now Tesla's going to basically rework the numbers. Is my thought process.
I'm hoping so, because with the what did it go up there? And it went up 2,000 in general for the
Yeah,
SR.
yeah.
Okay, so if it went up 2,000, um,
Actually, a little bit more than that, closer to 3, I think.
yeah, and all in. I mean, if someone wanted to get it yesterday and hesitated and didn't and procrastinated and didn't pull the trigger, and now they want to get it, somebody was around the internet. It was, and I don't understand the math now. They were saying that it's actually now $6,000 more now you'd be paying,
Yeah.
taking into consideration the rebate and everything.
Yeah, if you look at BC, you get a $3,000 rebate. Here, used to get a $3,000 rebate, so $8,000 rebate total. So at the price, even just a month ago, before they increased the price originally, when it was at $52,990, that brought the price down to what, 45,000,
Yeah,
and now it's 59,000. So it's like $15,000 more expensive.
yeah, yeah. That's a big difference. In Quebec, you could see big numbers like that too, right?
Even more.
Now, yeah, you guys see this? I mean, it may be a stupid question to ask rhetorically. Do you see this making a huge difference in Canada here, at least getting into the EV market or getting into the Tesla market? Like it seemed was going so well up to now.
No.
I'd be. No, you don't think it'll make a difference?
No, go ahead. You answer, and then I'll give you my reasons.
I was going to say I'd be surprised if it doesn't make a difference because, like we were just saying, in those provinces where there are rebates, those with the highest provinces, or the provinces with the highest rate of EV adoption, and without those, the cars, the entry level Model 3 is $15,000 to $20,000 more expensive, and brings it much closer to the long range model. So
Oh, so are we, well, I guess if you're talking adoption of Teslas, then it might make a difference. But if you're talking adoption of EVs, it won't.
No, sorry,
yeah,
I meant Tesla.
Okay. In terms of Tesla, though, even the Tesla, I don't think it will because Tesla's backlog right now. If you order a car anywhere in Canada, you're waiting a very long time to get your car.
Yeah,
That's a very long time before Tesla will probably make another price adjustment um, to better accommodate the customer base, right? So they're not dumb. They're not going to say, "Hey, let's keep our price higher. We're losing all these orders." They still have to fill their backlog of orders as it stands. So I feel like that gives them enough time to drop it back down to make up that price gap, basically to get the orders flowing back in. So I don't think it'll make a difference for Tesla either because they're not dumb, right? They're pretty smart in terms of how they allocate their resources and everything like that.
yeah,
A good example is like when we got our three stacks, the Ontario rebate was rumored to be canceled, and the U.S. rebate basically they had to push it to the next quarter so they can basically take full realization of the rebate at the time. So it made more
yeah.
sense for them to push all cars to Ontario to help us out, and then they also helped out the U.S. Right. So we actually got our cars like 6 or 7 months ahead of schedule because of the way the rebates worked out. So Tesla went out of the way to basically make it work for us and make it work for US. So customers got the most out of the rebate process. So like these are, like I said, Tesla's pretty smart with this kind of stuff. I imagine that they have a pretty big backlog right now as it stands in Canada, and that should be enough time to give another price decrease.
yeah, it might not impact in the long run their delivery numbers, but in terms of order numbers, I think there'll be a drop
Yeah, yeah, for
in
sure.
the short term.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you guys uh, both have valid points in your arguments. Yeah, let's just go through the pricing here in Canada, and then we can touch on the U.S. stuff a little bit. Um, the standard range is now up to 59,990, so basically 60,000, which previously was at 56 almost and a half. The long range looks like it went up 2 grand, from 64.9 to 66.9, and the performance also went up 2 grand by the looks of it. And that's for the three. The Y, same thing, went up 2 grand respectively in the long range and the performance. So
In the comments, my Model Y long range, $7,000 more than when they placed their order.
yeah, that's crazy.
Model
So
3 long range
And
bought in June.
that's only a month ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
2,700 more than what he paid.
Well, somebody in our chat, didn't they say that their car was, when they got it in March or February, it's 10 grand more than what they paid for it.
Yeah.
That's and then you just have to look at in the States, like Northern Tesla says in the comments there, it's like it's a 10K difference, like their cars. So if anyone had ordered it and were still waiting for their cars, I actually have a friend at work. She just ordered an SR. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around from the U.S. to Canada, but I just thought of this. She was just telling me
Borders
today.
opening, eh?
She just ordered a car last night, like not last night, yesterday, an SR. She's been on the fence about it, back and forth, just procrastinating. She talked to me about 2 3 months about it and asked me a bunch of questions. And I remember kept telling her. I kept saying to her, "Put in your order. Put in your order." And she did. And when I saw her today, and she told me, I'm like, "Oh, you did it because you knew it was going up." And she goes, "It went up." And I'm like, "Yeah, it went up." She had no idea that it went up, and she's just so thankful now that she did, because she just saved herself 6 grand, not even knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And the other semi-important change was that with it no longer qualifying for the rebate, they also removed the 151-kilometer range Model 3 from the order page. So
Oh yes.
they don't offer that anymore.
Well, I guess if it doesn't qualify, why bother putting that in there, right?
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
probably been dying to take that out too.
The other question is there a percentage of how many are sold for standard range plus versus long range? And will you guys take a guess when you will see FSD Beta stuff here in Canada? We will definitely get to the FSD stuff.
We're gonna get just hold that question. Yeah, we're gonna get to the FSD. If you have, and I know Franklin mentioned this in the comments, but people are listening, and even watching live, if you didn't hear at the beginning, if you have any questions that you want us to answer or do our best to answer, none of us here profess to be professionals, except for Darren, and he's not even professing. I'm saying that he's a professional. Put your answer down in the comments, and like always, we will do our best. We won't end the show before we at least give it a try. May not be the correct answer. We may just make it up, but we'll give it a try. I'm just kidding. We won't make it up. It's one thing we don't do. If we don't know the answer, we don't know the answer. Yeah, what I was saying about the U.S. is like they've gone up so much, and there's been rumors I've heard, not rumors, but just I guess murmurings about that they think that some people out there think that Tesla's putting up the price. That, like, I guess they don't believe in the supply chain issues or the chip shortage. They think they're putting it up slowly, gradually, in anticipation for the federal rebate that's supposed to come down the pipe there. So I don't know. Do you guys have any comments on if that's what you think they're doing or what people are thinking about that?
Go ahead, Franklin.
No, go ahead. You take a stab.
I don't really follow U.S. politics that much. I know that they're getting close to approving that rebate, so maybe they are. I honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to take a guess because I have no clue.
No, I know I'm not asking you to guess on whether it's coming or not, but I'm just asking your opinion on if you think that Tesla's intentionally raising the price to null and void or negate that rebate. That once that rebate comes down, and I think if it does, it's going to be 8,000 for Teslas or something. If I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, or maybe if I'm not correct. Um, if this price increase is just to like make up for it, I, I don't prescribe to that theory because it makes no sense. It makes no difference to Tesla. I mean, I guess it makes a difference because they get more money, but like, why would they do that? Franklin just sat here and explained 5 minutes ago how Tesla goes out of their way to make it right, uh, and do the right thing for their customers as much as they can.
I mean, there are situations where they don't, if you really want to get into it, but overall, I think they do a good job, at least when it comes to the sales perspective, because they want the customers to buy the cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these price increases would have happened if there was no rebate on the horizon.
I think the whole price increase thing is just like, I know we talk about it because like we're in the community. It's like, oh my god, look what happened. But price changes happen every day across the auto industry. You just generally don't see it because it's not from a manufacturer perspective. It's more from a dealership perspective. So if you go into a dealership buying the same exact car and you go to like 15 different dealers, you're going to get a different price at all 15. But they have a margin to move because they have like wiggle room. Where with Tesla, you're getting like the exact price that they're giving you. So it's like more noticeable because everyone has access to that same pricing. So like imagine you're able to, and actually this is kind of a fun experiment now that I say it. Imagine you're able to call like 300 dealerships every single day automatically to get the price of a certain model of a car, and you're able to track that data and like aggregate it in like a table. Um, that's when you'd actually like notice the difference of like the price changes and the price increases and decreases, right? So I feel like it's kind of overblown from a Tesla perspective, just because of the way their sales model is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I was when you were talking to Franklin, I was looking for. I had a picture on my phone. I can't seem to find it, but I was looking for a picture to
I'm right
prove
here,
your
Dax.
point.
You don't need to bring up photos. Man.
No, no, no. Just to lend some credence to your discussion there, to your point.
Yeah, so I think that's more or less what it is.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we have in the news today, or this week, or this month? It seems like we're doing the podcast every month now. Not by choice, just how it's turning out, which is fine. This is one for November. Um, we have a new update for the majority of people, not everyone, for the majority of people. Um, Two things. There's basically two updates. There's the 2021.40.6 that seems to be going out, rolling out in the last 3 nights in pretty good numbers. Um, and this, of course, brought us the whole, where is it here? Waypoints, or they don't actually call it waypoints, do they? They call it adding a stop or something
Add
like
stop.
that.
Add
Add
stop.
stop, yeah. So it brought that. It brought title, the music streaming to us. I know some people. I know when I say it brought us, I mean for the majority of people. I know there was a handful of people that had 2021.40 dot, or I don't even know if there was a dot after that a couple weeks ago. But that only went out to a few people, and then they seem to have stopped it. So there must have been an issue. I'm guessing. But this one seems to be more widespread. Uh, and what else did it bring out? It brought out some cold weather improvements and the traffic aware cruise control chime. It brought that too. Uh, you guys, before we talk about the 10.5 beta, and that's a separate topic because that also came out to some people um, in the beta program. You guys want to talk about what you think about this update? And I apologize if you don't have it. I don't have it yet, and I'll tell you my theory in a second of why I think I don't have it. But Darren, did you get it?
No, I didn't. I
Oh,
think
Darren.
Franklin's the only one.
Oh. Yeah, he's the only one here. So Franklin,
Yep.
you had a chance to play around with it, I guess. I've heard very good things about Title.
Okay,
Um,
so I've had title for such a long time now.
okay, so you were one of the people that had
Bragging.
it at just dot 40.
Yeah, I had dot 40 like 3 weeks ago. I've actually had friends message me. They're like, "Oh my god, I want to see it." So I've driven my car out of my way to meet people in our local community just to listen to music through Tidal.
Really?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
we are such a weird community of people, aren't we?
And I'm happy to do it. Like, there's a lot of really great people around us, right? So everyone who's like complaining about it, I'm like, I'll come out to you. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, why not? Right? So, yeah, Tidal is available in Canada. The service itself is amazing. There is a couple of things to it. So if you want to get the hi-fi songs, which is like their high-quality songs, you have to actually download them to your car.
Oh,
So
really? It doesn't. I guess it can't stream. Yeah.
yeah, so you have to select the songs and then you download to your car, and it does it through Wi-Fi. So if you just leave it overnight or whatever, it'll go to your car. Um, I forget now.
So it won't do it on LTE.
No,
Oh.
and just for reference, there is I believe your car's 60 gigs. Is someone correct me if I'm wrong? Um, there's 60 gigs of storage built in, but that doesn't include your software. Each song on average is like 35 megabytes. So yeah, you can do the math. Obviously, the 60 gigs isn't everything like that has your operating system and everything else. So you're not going to get like 60 gigs worth of Tidal songs downloaded to your car. But I think I forget what I calculated out to, like 100. I forget now.
I'm sure
Anyway,
Tesla's not going to allow you to max it out. You think?
I mean, I don't see. I'm going to test it.
Is there is there a way to stream Tidal at a lower quality, or is it all high quality
No, you
that you have to
you can
download?
stream it at like your normal Spotify quality, right? It's only if you want to get the hi-fi version, and that's what a lot of people like Tidal for. And
Okay.
I'm not like okay, so there
Audiophile?
is a noticeable yeah, there is a noticeable difference though.
Okay, that was my next question. Is there a noticeable difference on just a regular stream, and how good does the hi-fi sound?
So if you play Spotify, and then Spotify sounds good on its own. You're like, wow, this is great. Then you play a hi-fi song, and you play the exact same song, and I was flipping back and forth like way too much to try to like play spot the difference. Spotify is actually staticky in comparison.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like noticeably better. And if you act now, I feel like I'm like an ad person for Tidal. If you act now, just for $3, you can get a subscription for 6 months. But it is fairly expensive as a service, right? It's like $20 a month for the hi-fi version.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yeah.
for that $3 for 6 months, doesn't give you the hi-fi?
No, that is hi-fi. But after that, it's $20 a month.
Oh, it's just an introductory offer.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
they get you
Okay.
hooked.
Yeah. No,
Really
that's
in.
smart, right?
So I like it as a service. It is
What?
good. I've never used Tidal before, but the fact that
Here's the
and I
caveat.
know why they picked it. They picked it because
Oh, we all
who's
know
Elon friends with?
it. Exactly. Mr. Twitter.
He's friends with Jack.
Yes.
So Tidal's market share, I think, is like what, like 1%, 2%. It would have been much smarter to go with Apple Music, YouTube Music, or
Whoa.
Amazon
Sorry.
Music.
Sorry. Hold on, Darren. Are your speakers working okay?
I think I heard him say Apple.
Yeah, I thought I heard him praise Apple in some. Okay. Sorry. Back to our podcast. Go ahead.
I'm not a biased person. I like technology, and Apple doesn't always deliver the best technology. And I say that I have a MacBook in front of me, one of the M1s. So
Yeah. What is it? Just holding up your other PC
it's a
laptop?
pretty disappointing computer. I'll be very honest, but
Okay,
that's
let's
a
not
whole
get into
other
it.
discussion
Yes.
if you want to get into that. Um, and I have a fair comparison based off devices. But anyway, my point being is it would have made a lot more sense from a customer experience perspective if they offered music services that you already have, that you already subscribe to. So you gotta subscribe. You like how many people? Did either of you guys have a Tidal subscription?
No, I still don't.
No? And I think I actually ran a poll on Twitter to see how many people even knew about Tidal before
Oh yeah.
it came out to Tesla, and more than 50% said, "What's Tidal?"
Oh wow.
It'd be interesting to see what their subscriber base is before and after
Yeah,
months.
But
like 6
but
months
that's
from
my
now.
point, right? Like, would it have been better to have a service that's already popular? Like,
Yeah, yes, but to answer your question, I'll refer to your statement in the beginning with Jack Dorsey, right?
yeah, but see, and this
That
is the
answers your
problem.
question.
No, it does, but that's also the problem, right? Instead of tailoring to Elon Musk's friends, wouldn't it make more sense to tailor to the customer base?
It's favoritism. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And you know what? I mean, there's the theory out there that we will never get Apple Music because of the whole Tim Cook snobbing Elon years ago. I don't subscribe to that theory, but I'm just saying there's people out there that think that's the reason why.
You want to know the ultimate solution? Build a damn API and allow developers to develop whatever music solution they want. So if Apple wants it on there, guess whose fault it is? It's Apple. It's no longer a Tesla problem. Tesla basically passes um,
Yeah.
the responsibility to the customers to complain to their favorite company to get
Yeah. Well,
their
this
service on there.
this discussion comes full circle, right back to the demand, right? Tesla is not in a position now that they need to be um, bowing to customers' demands
Hmm.
because they're not selling cars. Maybe one day, if that does pose an issue for them, then maybe they can do that. But
Well,
they're
their customer, like, our buddy just got his 3 back from service, and they smudged the whole entire back
oh,
part of
don't
his
get me started with that.
car.
Yeah,
Um, and
any
and I
any.
hate to say it, but no, go ahead.
I was sorry. I'll say after you. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't like. I feel bad for him, but I don't think Tesla cares. Because if he's not happy, guess what? There's like a year lineup worth of people that are willing to go and jump in next.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't make it right. What I was gonna say, I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. I don't agree with the stance from Tesla point of view, but yeah. And this is the maturing of a company and a business where they reach that point where they can't, you know, bend over to each customer like they did when they were smaller because now they're too big. This could be the natural growth of a company getting too big for themselves. But no, he posted that in my Facebook group that I run, and I was kind of ashamed by the response that the Tesla community gave him, saying, "Oh, it's just And I'm seeing this more and more every day, and I don't want to get off on a tangent with this, but the apologists or I guess you could say Tesla apologists, came out in full force, just saying, "Oh, just wipe it off and move on."
Cultist. Cultist.
Cultists, yeah. I mean, you hear that word thrown around when it comes to Elon, and I personally don't like that term, and I don't like people thinking that's a cult. But you see situations like this, and you're like, I guess I can't argue in a way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
It's
think, Darren? You've been very quiet.
Darren likes title.
What do I think about what? We've talked about a lot of
I
things.
know we went off on a tangent. I apologize.
Darren's invested in Shopify, Twitter. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, the whole Apple thing. Do you think it'll ever come, or you think Tesla doesn't care what the customers want?
Well, it's already been seen in the code, so I
Oh,
would
that's
hope
right.
that
That's
one
right.
day that work didn't go to waste, and we do see it one day. But it
What?
was discovered quite a while ago, like over a year. I can't
Yeah.
remember the exact
That's
time
been a
frame.
long
So
time to get included. I gotta say.
Well,
yeah,
here's the thing. We've been seeing people like white hackers like Green uh, strip apart the code and look at deep into the code and examine things and find all these little hints and everything. Do you think, because remember, we got to admit, these Tesla coders and engineers, or whatever maybe I'm not using the right technical term, Franklin, you can correct me, people that write the code for Tesla, they're known to put in all these little Easter eggs. So could they just be messing with us with some of these things they put in there?
they could
Like,
be.
I wouldn't put it past these guys. They've got a good sense of humor. Keep in mind, these are the same guys that made the car fart, right?
There's some insane lengths that companies go to to troll people that actively decompile their code.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's brilliant people that go to great lengths to troll others, and I'm all for it. I think it's great. So if the
Oh
whole
yeah.
Apple Music thing was like one massive troll, it would have it like I'm all for that. Not because I don't want to see people get it, like I do. I'm all for it. But I think like from a Tesla perspective, if you're an engineer at Tesla and you think, hey, let me code this in because we're gonna screw with somebody, like I think that's hilarious. It
Yeah.
really
Me too.
is.
Yeah.
But they brought up in the chat here the App Store. So Elon did mention it years ago. They are actively developing it. They are actively hiring for it. Um, I've had a job offer for it, so it is coming eventually. When, who knows? But yeah.
Yep. Gary's telling me that my camera should be eye level. I know, and it usually is when I have my other camera, but I just don't have a stand for this laptop tonight, so I apologize for that. Uh, maybe I'll slouch down. I don't know,
So
maybe I'll go up.
I'm going to do a transition here because you love them. So let's say the Apple Music was in the code 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago now, but anyway, let's call it 2 years. I would not be shocked to say that it's taken them 2 years to implement it, because let's talk about Waypoints.
Oh yes.
Waypoints has been on the roadmap for how long? Has been a requested feature for how long? And the implementation that they have is half-assed.
Oh, it certainly is. From what I don't have it, but from what all accounts, and uh, Darren's actually, I don't even have it up. I have it up for myself, but I don't have it up for
So
you guys.
you can't rearrange them. You can't like it's just a mess.
You can't do it while you're driving.
You can't do it while you're driving. You can't add in additional points. It's just like not. It's hard to believe that Tesla spent all this time and they're like, yeah, we're gonna finally give you guys waypoints. This is something you want, and then they give it to you in the state that it is.
Well, when did they say they were, Darren? When did they say they were going to give it to us? When was it the plaid reveal? When he's like, "Okay, we'll get you the damn waypoints. You want it so badly, or something like that on stage." I don't want to put you on a spot, but I thought it was.
He did mention it there, but it was before then that he had actually tweeted, I think, to Trev.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Trevor PH.
I'll give you the exact date.
Okay.
September 21st, 2020.
Okay, so over a
That's
year.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me what we got in our cars today is a year of development?
I get it. Oh, but this is my whole point that I've been saying for months now, that and now they're picking up a little bit more now with the updates, but spring and summer where we didn't see an update, and I think one of you guys, I think it was Dan or somebody, that did a whole video on why we're not seeing updates and stuff like that. It all goes back to the whole beta. I think that it was all hands on deck and pulling people from different areas and other projects to work on this beta. I could be wrong, who knows, but that was my theory. So yeah,
Your theory doesn't.
Sorry, you're cutting out there. Did we lose Franklin?
Starbucks down.
Yeah, I got you still there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. What I was just thinking too, though, is like, this is the first, and I'm gonna not being an apologist here, but I'm just thinking rationally that this was the first, iteration, I guess we could say, or first kick at the can for this. And like we've seen other things that when they first came out by Tesla, it was rough around the edges at first, and with updates and time, it got better. Look at Sentry. Sentry is a perfect example, right? So
yeah, but on the other side of the coin, waypoints themselves have been around for years. It's not something new in the navigation world. So
yes, that is very true. And
it's not exactly a difficult concept to nail down on your first try.
Yeah. Gary was saying in a conversation we were having in another group this afternoon, and some of the friends were saying, yeah, like exactly that. It's like somebody was saying their 2004 Garmin GPS, you could do waypoints. Yeah. It's like, it's crazy to think. That's and I think this is Franklin. I hope he comes back. This is what Franklin's saying. It's like, how hard is it to put in there, and why was it half baked? So good. So in wrapping this up, it's good that we have it. Finally, have it. We waited a long time. It's a little disappointing because we waited this long, and this is what we get. But I'll be like most people's mother and say, just be happy that you got it, right?
Yeah, first world problems.
Oh, those definitely first world problems for sure. Yeah, guaranteed it's first world problems. Um, what else was in there that we didn't get? Oh, and of course, in Canada, at least, I can't speak to the US, but in Canada, we still are without the live Sentry view.
Yes, Life Sentry.
Yes. Um, any Darren, seeing it's just you, I could ask Franklin, but he won't answer me right now. Any theories on that?
Um, well, the two big theories are data pricing in Canada is too expensive to have streaming, and then the other one is privacy laws in Canada and other places around the world are stricter than in the US. So haven't got around to getting through those loopholes.
Yeah, I've heard those both those, and I heard regulations, but regulations basically comes down to privacy, just like you said. I think it's
Yeah.
another word for it. But then I just think to myself, and I understand that, right? it, I don't want to get political, but it drives me nuts. Um, in this day and age, 2021, with everything we have, cell phones and everything, and all technology, that people still complain that they want their privacy in this world. And it's even more hilarious when people complain on Facebook about their privacy. It just it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
Or it does.
I don't know if you saw there was a guy in Romania this week that hacked
Oh,
Life Sentry to work in Romania. And I was chatting with him, and he said he thinks it's because with um, Sentry mode is only activated when someone gets very close to your car, like let's say within a meter of your car,
yeah.
and that's when it starts recording. But with Live Sentry, you can watch it at any time. So he thinks that's the privacy aspect of it that's holding it up outside of the US because you can watch it at any time, so you can see anyone at any distance from your car. Whereas with regular Sentry, it's only when someone gets close to your car. So
Yeah, and yeah, that's a very good point. But then I think to myself, there's cameras everywhere. You walk out of your house, like I mean, I've got okay, I won't say that. But there's cameras. I'll go back to what I was originally going to say. There's cameras everywhere. You walk down a neighborhood street, people that have Ring doorbells, they have cameras in their driveway to look at their cars and stuff like that. You, you're on cam, and anyone could at any given time. I got my phone here. I can turn this on. Sorry, you saw my tweets. Uh, turn it on at any time and look at somebody walking by my street or somebody else's street. Like I don't I get the privacy argument, but I don't see how it being in a car in a parking lot is any different than uh, in a
is there
residential area.
right in that part?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I know somebody's gonna say, "Oh,
Hello.
well, because it's one's public, one's private."
Hello. Well, I'm back.
Welcome back. Sorry, did you go behind the moon and you had to wait till you came back over?
Tim Apple is listening to our conversations. He smited my MacBook because of my comments earlier.
That's what happened.
Uh, it's not a. I was listening on my other device. It's not a privacy issue, from what I understand, because you're allowed to openly record anybody you want out in public.
In Canada?
In Canada, yeah, correct. You can you can record
True.
freely.
True. Yeah, you could pick up your cell phone and start
Yep.
filming people.
Yep.
Once you're in the public, yeah, there's
no
no
laws.
there's no reasonable expectation of privacy. You are correct.
Yeah.
I just remember that.
Yeah. So it's not a privacy issue; it's a data issue, and needless to say, living in Canada, we pay the second highest telecommunication service fees in the world, on average.
Wow.
It is
Was it-
cheaper to buy a cell phone plan from Europe pay the roaming fee, and have it in Canada than it is to buy a Canadian service plan.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
you guys know Kaushik, KKVR 2823. He shared a picture the other day of a bag of chips in India, like Lay's potato chips, and on the bag it said free 2 gigabytes of data, and inside the bag you get there was a deal for free 2 gigabytes of data.
And that was where? In the US?
India.
In India.
Yeah, that's how cheap it is over there. They give it away with bags of chips.
That's hilarious. I didn't see that picture. My
Meanwhile,
gosh.
for here, it's like, buy our data plan, and we'll give you a chip.
Half licked. Okay, so I'm glad you're back, Franklin, for more reasons than one, but mainly because you have the 40.6. Other than I know you said you were listening, the live Sentry. Anything else that? Oh, of course. Okay, I just answering my own question here. Disney Plus. Are there's still some holdouts for Disney Plus?
Yep, no Disney Plus.
Whether we see it or not, we may see it in 2023 with the Cybertruck. I don't know, but
there is also and I think it was in .40 that we got it, not .40.6. But anyway, I'll still bring it up because a lot of people are getting 40.6 now. It's so bizarre. For the longest time, the only build in the world that can detect speed signs on the highway was in the US. So the US cars can detect speed signs on the highway. Canadian cars, European cars, Chinese cars could not. Now in .40, at least I can say from a Canadian perspective, it's not in the release notes, but 100% it can detect speed signs now on the highway. So that's like a huge improvement, which I don't understand why they wouldn't put it on the release notes. But yeah, that's also new.
Well, it's funny how Tesla works sometimes. Sometimes they don't put these things in release notes, and then they put other things in that. I don't know.
And that's an important feature, I think. Like, I think it's really helpful.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they forgot to put it in. We'll get Darren to
it's discovery
dive
mode
deep
is what
into
they
that.
do.
It's what?
It's discovery mode. It's the discovery update. Discover what's new.
Oh, just look for it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Your favorite topic before we go any further? FSD Beta. They rolled out to the 98s. They haven't moved on to 97s yet, have they?
No.
No. I heard they're like, triggering a lot of 97 people. But they did say, I remember now, Elon did say that they were going to slow down the additional beta testers as they continue rolling these out. Anyways, we got 10.5, or not we, our friends in the States, handful of them, got 10.5. And from some videos, it looks pretty impressive. In terms of like, it's still not perfect. It's going to be a while before it's perfect, I think. And Franklin, you can continue on that point when I stop. But it looks better. It looks like there's some improvements.
Go ahead, Darren. You want to start before I rant?
I was going to say most of the feedback I've seen has been very positive about it. There's been some good improvements in this one, but yeah, like you said, it's still not perfect, obviously.
So, for those who don't know, I've been fairly active.
For those who don't know, like the Queen.
I've been fairly active in trying to get FSD Beta in Canada. I've tweeted Elon a couple of times. For anyone who's keeping count.
Times.
It would be silly, and I've been one of the biggest advocates for buying FSD. It would be silly today to buy FSD on any Tesla outside of the US, based on the tweet that Elon had. What was it, yesterday?
I'm looking for it right now. Yeah, keep going.
2 days ago, maybe?
2 days ago. He said, so let's backtrack. Let's go back in time 12 months ago. The beta at this point was out for a solid month and a half. And Elon tweeted, he went on Twitter and he was on the toilet because he said that's retweets. He mentioned that last week. Most of his tweets come on the toilet. So he's on the toilet and he tweeted, he said, FSD beta to Canada maybe next month. So that was December of last year.
It's true, it was.
Then,
Ah.
you know, then we fast forward through all the 2 weeks, so on and so forth, and you come forward to a couple of weeks ago, where he said, "Hey, maybe you guys will get it next month," and so he's like, so someone who's been asking him a couple times here and there, every time he tweets, um, I was very excited. His tweet yesterday or 2 days ago was not to expect the beta until um, and not expect the FSD until it's out of beta. So out of beta means, in my mind, that they're removing the beta tag away from the feature. Just for reference, pretty much every single feature on your car right now is in beta.
Exactly.
Dumb summon. The car literally goes forward and backwards at like crawling speed. Has been in beta for like 5 years. If we're going based off his tweet, I think that's the first accurate timeline prediction he's given us. Instead of saying like 2 weeks or maybe next month, now he's saying at least out of beta. It would be silly to get it before it's out of beta. Like if I was buying a Tesla right now, I would not buy it.
No,
The
absolutely
subscription makes a lot more sense. If we ever get the subscription, of course.
not. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I have no problem trying out the subscription. A, depending on the price, and B, as I hold two fingers up, when and if it ever comes here.
And I want to address a couple of things. So
Address.
the first one, regulation. I've dealt with people tweeting about regulations for the last year. It is not regulations. Our regulations are fine. It functions perfectly here. It's not geofence like other Tesla features in the past. And then Canada being different, which Gary Mark commented. Our roads are actually marked better than the U.S. It actually messes up the car while it's driving. I've been in the car in Toronto for 10.3 as well as 10.4. I have not seen 10.5 yet. Keyword is yet, I'm hoping. But there's literally like the differences are so minute that it is more or less Elon saying he wants to focus on one area. I want to
At a
share
time.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
share something. I don't know how true it is, so I'm not saying it's true. It's just something I heard.
I love how you just share incorrect stuff on my show. Thank you very much.
Okay, fine. I won't share. I won't
No,
share.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
And so if again, I don't know if this is true. So like Darren Dax, correct me if I'm like way out there.
No, just preface it by saying take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. I've heard rumors that the developers developing FSD do get bonuses if FSD Beta is able to function with zero disengagements for Elon in his drives, which would be around his work. So there's definitely more data collection in areas around the factory. There's definitely more data collection, and I mean, Elon said it that it works better in California. Why? Why would it work better in California versus other places? Obviously, because it's more tailored to California currently.
Wow. That's
So
a big accusation.
I,
And
again,
you expect to
I
get the
hope that's
beta.
not-
I mean, I don't think we're getting it for. If we're trying saying the beta tag has to be removed, my car will be in double digits before we get the beta.
Say again, if you're what?
If we're waiting for the beta tag to be removed, my car will be in double digits before we get the beta. In age, my car will be double digits in age.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
wouldn't. I don't even know if you'd own it still then. But
Oh,
yeah,
no,
no,
probably not.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, you know,
But anyway, I heard that, and again, I'm not entirely sure if it's accurate. Feel free, guys, to jump in. But that's what I was told.
was it a good source?
I wouldn't be sharing if I didn't like. I don't try. I try not to share stuff that's not somewhat reliable or has at least some sort of credibility, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I get what they're saying. Right? Like, I mean, it could be one of those things that's just misinterpreted. It could mean like Elon saying, "Make it perfect for me, and we'll go from there."
Yeah, and Man, I hate to discuss this because I feel like I'm gonna like bash Tesla. And
Oh.
please, guys, if you listen to the first half of the podcast, I was very pro Tesla. Darren's laughing. He's like, "Yeah, you're never getting the beta."
Oh, absolutely not
Blacklisted.
getting it. Yeah.
They're gonna have to do a retrofit on the car with additional cameras and potentially sensors, because believe they're going to have to. And for them to, so the whole leveling system is kind of fundamentally flawed when it comes to Tesla. So Tesla's running at a level 2 currently. For them to run a level 3 is technically the most dangerous because the car's doing stuff and you have to actively take over. Tesla ideally never wants to get to level 4 because that goes against everything that they said. They don't want any type of geo restriction, like geofence restriction, and they also don't want like a location basic, like a weather based restriction. Sorry, is what I was thinking. So they don't want like a geography based restriction or a weather based restriction. They've been pushing. It's been advertised that it's going to work everywhere all the time for everything, right? So ideally, you want it to jump to level 5 where there's no restrictions. Level 5 basically means that the car is able to function 100% by itself perfectly at all times. We are very far off from level 5. So basically, we're going to be stuck in level 3, hopefully for a long period of time, which again is fairly dangerous, or level 2, right? Is pretty similar to what we have now, which is much different based on what I was sold when I purchased FSD.
You think so? You're saying they're going to skip over 4, maybe even 3, and just go straight to 5 one of these days?
Well, I think eventually, long term, yes.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before.
Yeah, but I don't think that day is going to happen anytime soon.
No.
And we're going to need new hardware.
Okay. Hardware aside, I know your opinion. Darren, if you had to buy another Tesla tomorrow, or you had the opportunity to, not even tomorrow, in the next 3 months, let's say, would you purchase FSD with it?
No, I would not.
You're both blacklisted.
Just kidding. Dad, did
No,
you buy FSD on
No,
first?
I didn't. I'm totally joking with you guys. No, I totally agree with you. And I put my money where my mouth is back in May. And yeah. Not that I didn't want it. I mean,
if I
partially because I couldn't afford it, but
Darren, Dax, if you guys lived in Austin or California, would you buy it? I would.
Yeah, totally different story.
I'm sure it works amazing there.
Yeah.
Austin's up next on the list.
But we're not seeing, like, I'm watching YouTubers that have the beta and are testing it, and we're seeing them like Michigan, obviously, Chris, and other states outside of those ones you just mentioned, and they're doing fairly well too. I don't think it's being developed strictly.
No, it's not. I don't
states.
mean it like that. I mean just more more data collection being geared towards those locations, right?
Oh, well, maybe so, and that could be easily justifiable if we wouldn't be privy to it. But if we were able to see that majority of the beta testers are there,
Oh yeah,
we know a lot of the cars are sold there.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I think if it makes sense, right? Because if you have more Tesla owners there, it makes more sense to gear towards there. It's just they're definitely collecting more data there, right? You and I were talking about it on a phone call a couple of days ago. From a driving perspective, New York City and San Francisco would be your probably 2 key areas to test out. Because one gives you like really crazy roads, and the other one gives you like crazy traffic. So you kind of get like such a large, wide scale of testing. But anyway, that's yeah. I wouldn't buy FSD today. To my long-winded.
I kind of agree with you. Yeah.
And all 3 of us are saying that, and all 3 of us, yeah, Dax, you've purchased FSD in the past on your Model 3, right?
Oh yeah, I've had FSD longer.
We've all purchased FSD, and we're saying the same thing now.
I think so. If you look at FSD, if you look at the initial beta testers, I'm not going to call it anyone individually, because they've done an excellent job. Being in the beta car, I'll tell you, watching a video and actually being in it is a drastically different experience. feeling the car do stuff, knowing it's doing it, is like it's very scary. Needless to say, right?
It's unnatural.
So I gotta say, like the beta testers did a fantastic job, especially given some of the stuff that I've seen it do, where it's like actively tries to kill the driver, not on purpose, obviously, but so I'm not saying that, but the overall sentiment of the initial beta testers changed a lot since the 99s, the hundreds, the 99s, and now 98s got added. I find that you're getting a lot more people reporting feedback of like how it can improve. You're not getting, oh my god, this is the greatest drive ever. Again, I'm not going to point out anybody, but I know for a fact that some people in the initial beta drive were doing the same test run over and over until they got a good video for the same test run. So if they did like a test run between like 8.1 and then 8.2, they're cherry picking out those drives.
Oh my god!
Which is
dropping the accusations tonight on my show.
Yep, I told you. I don't know if you want me on tonight. I'm all fired up.
I'm kidding.
So
I like it.
It's and again, if people are free not to believe me, like you're more than welcome to, right? But I know like from what I've seen, what I've been told, what I've seen firsthand, right? And there are some very good, honest people that have done videos. I love Chris Dirty Tesla. He does amazing videos. Frenchie does good videos.
He needs to wash his car more often, Chris. Come on. I said that in a tweet, and someone said, "You know the name of his channel, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I get it. It's a joke."
Yeah. So
yeah, Frenchie's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Chuck.
There's a, Chuck. Oh, I love
Chuck's
Chuck.
awesome.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Who's made for that?
Chuck. So
Chuck.
and
I want you on the show.
I want to get Chuck on here. Chuck's on Team New Hardware, so I like him.
Is that going to be a hashtag now?
No. I'm joking. But
Tesla's going to come and repossess your car.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is I don't know about you guys. Like, I've watched way too many beta videos over the last 13 months. I mean, who's counting? The overall sentiment has changed a lot as soon as more people got it. I don't know if you guys agree.
How do you think the sentiment changed?
We're not getting perfect drive videos. We're getting a lot more videos where we're getting more honest reviews, more honest things of what is happening.
It's not as rosy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying anything like all of this is good, right? You want disengagements because that means the car made a mistake and the data is going back to Tesla for
Gary.
fixing.
Sorry to interrupt you, Gary.
What?
Is this right? You got booted from the beta? Chuck did? That I'd like to. I believe you fully, Gary. I'd like to know more about that. That sounds crazy. If Chuck got booted from the beta, depending on the reason why, but I'd love to know more.
I've never been as angry. He just tweeted. I've never been as angry as just now on 10.5 and getting 3 strikes for road monitoring while wearing a ball cap to keep the evening sun out of my eyes.
Oh,
Elon
no.
Musk, if you're going to enforce driver monitoring with the threat of recurvation of FSD, at least have a good algo.
Oh,
So-
because it's wearing a baseball cap and it blocked the interior camera? Really?
So, you guys tell on my version of my car, and I don't know if it's 40.6. So I notice if I wear sunglasses, I get a lot of those pay attention beeps a lot more than if I don't.
Well, are you looking at your phone?
No. Just wearing sunglasses.
And I'm
It
not.
can't detect my eyes.
It's got to be. It's infrared. It's got to be able to see through the glasses, right? Not infrared. IR, right?
I'm
Yeah,
just telling
IR
you-
is infrared. Yeah.
I'm just telling you what I've experienced.
Wow. And I only joke. I'm not accusing you like you've been doing for everyone this entire show of
Wow.
of driving while on your phone. But let's just say I know when it goes off, why it goes off when I drive. So I'm not, I'm not calling the kettle black when
Oh yeah,
I was actually-
I am a
Frenchie's
kettle.
latest video is hilarious, by the way. So just
Oh, yeah?
to throw that out there.
I
Oh, yeah.
gotta check that out.
Did you watch it, Darren?
Which one? Frenchie's video or?
Yeah, the reporter almost died.
No, I haven't seen Frenchie's video.
Oh my god. Seriously, take like 2 minutes of your time after this. Best video you will watch like this week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta
It's
check it
really
out.
good.
I have him in my list, but I haven't watched it.
But
Sorry.
I was ca-
You guys want to give some input on the beta here? Because I feel like I'm the only one giving
No, you're well. Speaking for myself, I don't want to speak for Darren. My input or my philosophy on it is very similar to yours. Without accusing people of stuff, mine's same thing. Like I wouldn't get it tomorrow.
I didn't accuse anybody for the record.
I know you accuse groups of people.
But I was actually thinking this morning about. I was driving and I got a front collision warning when it was like, why did I get that? So similar to what Chuck experienced, I worry about if we get the safety score, because there's so many times when I drive around and I get forward collision warnings where it's not necessary. I would say it's a false front collision warning. Obviously, people in the US went through this with trying to get their scores, but
Yeah.
the
What's your
system
thoughts
isn't
on
perfect.
the beta score system, Darren? Because Dax and I have talked about it. I'm kind of curious. Do you think it's a good system or no? Do you think that's like a accurate way to determine a good driver to give out the beta to people?
No, I don't know how they could have done another method of trying to figure out how to not just go blindly giving it to everyone. That obviously had to take a measured approach. This wasn't obviously perfect, but I don't know what else they could have done.
That's exactly what I said to Franklin. We did have this discussion about a week ago, and I said, no, I think it sucks, but I can't think of a better or another way of doing it. Can you,
Yeah.
Franklin?
Yeah, no, I don't like the approach, but I can't I can't think of a better solution to the problem. So maybe they sat down in a boardroom like, yep, I guess this is the shitty of the best solutions we came up to, right?
I think that's probably exactly what happened.
The best of the worst, yeah. Now, I mean, and that's why I said to Franklin before, or I might have even said it in this podcast before. Part of me wishes that we don't get the beta until a lot more of these little edge cases or things are ironed out. And I know that angers a lot of Canadians here, and because they paid money for it and they're dying to get it to be a beta tester. But if it means longer that they can go away with this whole scoring system, because if the scoring system comes here, I don't know. I think it's going to be horrible for people.
I won't get the beta on the scoring system purely because of where I live.
Oh yeah, your geography is
You're
is
screwed.
your handicap. Yeah, yeah.
Like, I see people share these videos online, and they're like, "Oh my god, the beta did this for me," or autopilot. See, that's normal everyday driving where I live, and I'm not saying it to like joke around or anything. Like, my
He's
insurance
dead
rates
serious.
match. I have to meet up with Dax tomorrow, and he refuses to come to my city because of how the drivers are here. I'm not joking.
I saw that, but when I said that this morning, you're like, totally understand, buddy.
Yeah, and you live in the area, like area-ish, like you live in the Greater Toronto area.
Yeah.
And he refuses to drive where I live.
I would have come if you really wanted me to, but
It's okay. It's too late now. I already have planned the new location, but it's
yeah.
fine.
You guys want to see if we can touch this question before we go on? I got one more thing that we're gonna topic we're gonna touch on, but for one, I'm not gonna try to pronounce this gentleman's name because I'll butcher it. But what do you think of the question? What is your theory on when updates are released? Like in terms of, do you think there's a rhyme or reason who gets it and what the staged rollout manner is?
I would love to know the answer to this question.
Says the guy that doesn't have 40.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
There doesn't seem to be any, other than like when you got your car, Dax, there was a very clear distinction between vision and non-vision updates.
Yes.
I think
Other
I'll
than
go
that, we can still hear you, Franklin. We just can't see you.
Yeah. You grade
Other than
yourself
that,
out.
other than that distinction back then, I haven't been able to pick out any rhyme or reason as to who gets an update and when.
Yeah. My quick theory on why I haven't got the update, and I'm not expecting it. Like when a lot of these updates used to be coming out in the last 3 years, when I had my three, and I would get wind of it on the internet that, oh, someone got an update, I would be like looking at my phone, or going to my car to see if I had the update or the message to say that there's a software update available. Now I don't even bother, because this is just my theory. It's not proven. I might be proven wrong tonight, and if I am, I would love it to be. But I think anyone that has a vision car, is that a bullseye? Is that what I see? Jesus,
It's a
it's a
dartboard.
dartboard. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Anyone?
giving my answer.
Oh, okay, hold on. Anyone that has a newer car, 3 or Y, and I'm not even sure about the S or X, but well, there's no X's, that has a vision only car. It's on a completely separate software revision,
Correct.
let's just say, or yeah, version. So I think they're obviously giving these updates out, like this one we're talking about, 40.6 that we talked about earlier in the podcast here. They're giving that out to, the masses. Why not? As opposed to giving it out to just the handful. But sooner or later, with the amount of cars that they delivered since the middle of this year, I wonder how long it'll take that the vision cars will outnumber the radar cars, and then I wonder what they'll do then. Or maybe the software will blend by then. Who knows? But yeah, I think that they're giving it out to the radar cars first, and then weeks later they make a separate one for us vision cars, and they give it out to us.
How do you
Because
feel always being behind?
yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering how long that'll last, or if it'll take, like I said, if it'll take the sheer numbers of vision cars to eclipse the radar cars, or if the software will just fix that
Eventually,
problem.
they're going to remove, not physically remove,
Oh,
but
true.
they're going to
Yes.
just make one software code without no radar, and that's what us radar cars will have.
Yes.
Because
You
their
will
code
come
base
to
right now
us.
has to be a nightmare with
Fragmentation.
radar, no radar. Then you have all your different country regulations for each country and what
Can you
you can and
imagine?
can't do. Then you have different levels of like beta, early access, developer, public. Um,
And then models of cars.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, models of cars.
this
With
is
the
what's going to
S,
happen with FSD, right? There's going to have to be like, is the computer going to take over and know? Like, is it going to, the neural net going to decide this and learn this and do it all on its own?
decide
And
what.
like which car it's in, like be enough intelligent enough to know, okay, I'm in an S, I'm in Europe, I'm in,
Well,
all these different factors you just mentioned.
so it's actually kind of concerning. When they had the boombox
Didn't mean to
upgrade,
concern you.
yeah, no, it's very concerning, Dax. I lose sleep over this. The boombox update, people got it retrofitted into their cars. Some people I know got it retrofitted without going to Tesla, and then they actually had to go to Tesla for Tesla to basically change out a 0 to a 1 inside the configuration file. The car should be smart enough to detect the hardware that's available to it, especially like a boombox mod, and say, hey, guess what, it's there. The fact that it's a configuration file is like really unoptimized code. So I don't, to answer your question, I'm not sure if they thought that far ahead when they started making all their different like versions and stuff. Like I believe that radar wasn't after, like they didn't plan to remove radar as early as they removed it, right?
I agree. um
You guys make it seem like I'm a bad person here. You guys aren't talking. It's just like
yeah, well, that you could look at it that way, the glass half full type of person that you are, or you could look at it as a glass, or sorry, half empty, or you could look at it as we are looking at it, as the glass half full, because you're doing such a good job, we have nothing else to add. Come on, Franklin.
I mean, or you guys just don't want it. That's fine.
Don't want what?
CNN video. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're letting you dig your own grave, Franklin.
That's fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah, he's a master with a shovel. Let me just say.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
No, neither do I. Okay, so let's talk about this. The same gentleman. Okay, hate calling him a gentleman without calling him by his name. You guys want to take a stab at it?
Montemoro?
Montemoro?
Mr. Montemoro.
Okay, I like how you didn't you didn't touch his first name.
Julio?
Julio?
Julio. Oh, yeah, it may be that simple. I'm just an idiot. Oh wow.
I'm so sorry if we butchered your name. I apologize on all three of our behalfs. That's not our intention.
But he did.
We are Canadian, of course.
He did read our minds. Yeah, we are Canadians, eh? Let's talk about this. The CNN video. Briefly.
I need their editor.
You need their editor, yeah, don't we all? Okay, the first video that came out, that it was obviously slanted. Did any, before we go any further, did anyone here or in the chat, did anyone think that that wasn't slanted and that was a fair representation of a beta drive? Oh, I thought you were gonna I so thought you were gonna put your hand up, Franklin.
No, I was moving my screen.
Yeah.
Fair representation, no.
No. Okay. So it was definitely slanted. We all get that. So we can talk about that and why CNN. I don't know CNN's history with Tesla. Maybe Darren or Franklin, you guys can tell me. Did they always have this, like, the type of? There's other publications. Who is it? Is it the Wall Street Journal or Consumer Reports? Like, who is it that always bags on Tesla? There's a handful of other corporations.
Consumer Reports is definitely one of them.
Yeah, but has
Ask
CNN
Earl,
been
he
like
has a
that?
list.
Ask who?
Earl, he has a list.
Oh yeah.
I love Earl.
Yeah.
CNN has been. I find CNN from the little bit that I've read, and don't like quote.
And I don't want to get politics into this. Sorry, I just wanted to.
No. From a Tesla perspective, they
Yep.
generally report what Tesla's doing, rather than giving like a spin on what their thoughts are
Opinion
based off the
pieces.
situation.
I like Jeff.
CNN still exists.
Jeff said in the comments, CNN still exists.
I think they do They generally do a pretty good job at being fair in terms of how they report Tesla.
Okay. Yeah.
This reporter in particular was, I don't want to use the word vetted, but like the guy looked into him before he said, "Yeah, sure," right? It wasn't like some random guy. It wasn't like, "Hey, Aaron Greenspan, let's go try my FSD Beta," right? And you don't know how the guy's going to react and what he's going to say.
Can you imagine? Wow.
So,
No, I'm saying, can you imagine if it was Greenspan?
yeah. So, the initial video that CNN published was highly dramatic.
Yes.
The,
Could have won awards, let's just say.
So we got on one side the CNN video, which is like extreme to the dramatic. Oh my God, there's a truck! And again, please watch Frenchie's video if you haven't. It's spectacular. Watch the CNN one first because it's important. Then you watch Frenchie's.
Oh, really? Is it almost like a parody?
Oh, it is, but it's
okay.
so
watch it
well
even
done.
more.
Oh, it is amazing.
Gotta watch it even more.
So anyway, the CNN video was like highly dramatized, but it did touch on some of the issues that Tesla's still experiencing in the beta. They just did it in a very biased fashion. They didn't really show all the good stuff it can do. Then we got the behind the scenes video, which showed all the good stuff. That, like, the guy was like super calm and like, wow, it's doing this and it's doing that, and you can see like his reactions. The same CNN driver.
Sorry to cut you off. What I should have done, and I didn't. I apologize for this. Anyone that didn't see the CNN video, go watch it, and then watch the other one. Just basically go to Darren's article, and you can. Both videos are embedded in there. But in a nutshell, what happened is some guy, or CNN reached out to some guy that had the beta, asked him if they could do a segment on it. They did a segment on it, and it was very, very negative on the beta. With the CNN reporter that was driving, was just like very dramatic in a very, very negative way. So what happened a few days later, the guy that owned a car, that gave up his car for the for the article, came out and said the real story, saying like, "Hey, listen, I thought this was going to be good. Um, it was going to be a positive. They told me it was going to be a positive spin, or at least neutral. They didn't say anything like how negative it was going to be." And I was in the car in the back seat, and I filmed the whole thing for insurance purposes. He says, and what he showed as filming reporter was completely different than what CNN aired. So sorry, continue, Franklin. I just wanted to bring people up to speed.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's like night and day. So basically, the CNN only covers all the negative experiences, and the way it is edited is absolutely amazing. Um, like
Hey, yeah,
if you're an editor, you take both these videos to a future employer, and you say, okay, I took this nice calm driver and I turned it into this, right? That editor has a job, like the video editor. He has a job somewhere. Like he did that good of a job editing the video.
well, he is working for CNN. That's pretty high up there. Maybe he can
mean,
go to ILM. Yeah,
You don't think he can do better?
I know.
He's video editing. I mean, he can go anywhere. But I'm just saying, for his resume, this is a great example because, like, in the behind the scenes video, the guy was like, the CNN driver was like super calm and relaxed, and he was talking his way through the good parts of what the beta did. The actual CNN video that they published didn't have any of that. Literally nothing. And it's kind of what Gary Marks said. It's hyped for ratings. That's ultimately what it boils down to.
Yeah.
It's not as
I get it.
fun to say, hey, look at this car doing the good and the bad. He kind of just said, hey, look at all the bad. And it wasn't just the bad. It was, like, sensationalized bad.
Over the top. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, the editor, spectacular. That's my takeaway. CNN has really good editors.
That's your takeaway.
Yeah.
You've been a little quiet on this.
I'm
Darren.
sorry, Darren. I feel like I'm taking up all your airtime here. I'm just going to mute my mic. Go ahead.
No, I have nothing else to say. You covered it all.
Franklin, you want to respond to Darren?
No, I muted my mic. I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, I totally agree with the, dominating. I totally agree with everything Franklin said. When you look at the two videos side by side, it's a completely, they could have made it a completely different story if they had edited it differently.
But I agree. I totally agree. But would we be sitting here talking about it? I don't even know how many views. I don't know if there's a view counter on it on the webpage of CNN where they first put this out, or was it YouTube? I forget. But would they have gotten as many clicks if they did an average, well balanced piece, like all these guys are saying in the chat? Yeah, if it leads, it bleeds, and that's I get it. Okay.
I've actually only got 61,000 views on the video. Thought it would be more than that. Yeah.
Well,
Which one's that?
I would have thought
The CNN one.
Are you sure? Because the CNN one on YouTube has 264,000.
Okay, maybe that's where they got more.
Oh, that's where I'm looking. CNN.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I did the same exact thing. I'm like trying to search both of them. What's the behind the scenes one got? 51,000. No, that's thing.
Yeah, 51,000 is what I see.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's like substantially more through CNN, which makes sense because they're a news outlet, right? They have a reach already.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Anything else to add on anything that I didn't talk about? Did you guys feel like talking about? Or
We did have a question. You'd have to scroll up though.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was right after we were talking about title.
Oh wow! I don't know if I can go up that high.
Northern Tesla said, "I'm going on a long road trip. Do you guys recommend getting one of those front coolers or perhaps a plug-in cooler?"
I recommend a regular cooler. Next question. Any other questions?
I'm actually looking into plug-in myself for different reasons, but not a full-out cooler.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I'm not getting a full cooler. I just want like a small little.
Well, you know what? Let's answer this really in-depthly. Northern Tesla, aka Dan. How long is your road trip? You didn't give us very specific things here. how long is your road trip? What is the climate of your road trip in the area you're going to be? Um, how much space are you going to have? Because coolers come in different sizes. Do you want to put it in the sub trunk? Do you want to put it in the frunk? I mean, all these things make a difference because in the frunk, it's not heated, and if you're in a cold climate, then it's going to be colder. You may not need it to be plugged in. You can't plug it in the frunk anyways. So there's different things when you know more of the information that we need to answer this question, get back to us and we'll gladly answer the question in more detail. Until then, we're just going to put that question on hold.
Oh, it's 3 hours. He said he's here.
He's here. Oh,
Yeah, he
okay,
said
sorry.
3 hours.
He is not here. I do not see him.
He said 3 hours. It's in the chat.
Oh, okay. My chat must be delayed. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't see it, so I'm not answering it.
I saw the to answer the. I saw the CNCT cooler in person.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot like a Yeti of like the cooler world.
Yeah.
Built for the Tesla, and the handles are really nice. They like look like the Tesla handles.
No, that was cool. That was
So
cool.
while it's a little bit on the pricey side, you're getting like a premium cooler for your car. So it's not something you buy often. So it is a good product. It is a little bit on the pricey side. If you're not going to use it a lot, just buy a bag of ice and a regular cooler for your 3-hour drive. The plug-in ones aren't bad. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I don't know. I don't know what could happen, but anyway. Hello, people of Tesla. We got Gary here. So we got both Garys from Toronto, which always confuses people.
Yes, it does. Okay, do you guys have any? I don't. I was once again ill prepared on this show. I don't have any Tesla stories for the week. But do you guys have any? I don't want to leave you guys out.
Should I give a driving story or someone like almost want head-on collision to me, or what do you guys want?
What was the second one you said there?
I don't know. What kind of stories do you want?
No, you said a driving story or a what?
Do you want like a head-on collision driving story? Do you want a story where guys in the wrong turning lane on oncoming traffic? Like, what kind of stories are you guys looking for?
Is it Tesla related?
Oh yeah, it's me driving my Tesla in my city where I see all this stuff every day.
Okay. I don't know about you, Darren, but the head-on one sounds intriguing to me.
Sounds interesting, yeah.
All right, so I'm stopped at a red light, and then the light turns green, and I look both ways, as I do before I go through. And for people who are only listening through audio, I did just nod my head both ways to visualize what I do. And I start going through the light, the intersection, because it was nice and clear. The guy making the left thought, hey, it is my turn to go. I have an advanced green. So needless to say, I had to slam on my brakes. I came way too close for comfort. I was not wearing brown pants, unfortunately. And, no, I'm joking. I'm trying to learn from CNN here how to get more viewerships for the podcast decks. So needless to say, I had to slam on my brakes, and I came relatively close because the guy thought, hey, it's my turn to go left, even though it was not. So there's my head-on collision story for the day. And
this was on a... Sorry, I missed the beginning part. I was daydreaming. This was on a fresh green?
Yeah.
So he was trying to beat you guys. That's what he was trying to do.
Pretty much, yeah. And I didn't even, like, push my car. Like, I was just casually driving. Like, I had autopilot enabled. I took off autopilot real quick because autopilot was going to stop in time.
You got the
and
footage
you know
of that?
autopilot accelerates.
Yeah.
Oh, so I tapped the
speaking of which...
and...
Sorry, speaking of which, has anyone noticed, at least on my version, that autopilot accelerates very slowly when stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic and the next car in front of you moves up? Has anyone found that it's doing it really, really slow? Which would be a good thing in your scenario that you're saying,
yeah.
Franklin.
No, like, truthfully, I use autopilot. Going back to what I was saying, I use autopilot pretty much everywhere across my city, even with what's around me. And I gotta say, it does a really good job. It's a very impressive feature set. I could not buy a car that does not have anything equivalent to what autopilot does today.
Hey, Darren, you know what he's doing now? He's backpedaling.
No, I give honest opinions.
No.
No. I love it. I love it. I say nothing wrong about Tesla. Anyways, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. That's a good story. You have footage of that you could share with us? You're missing.
I
I don't mean right now. I don't want to say it or put you on the spot right now, but I'm telling you, I told you this before. You're missing your calling for a YouTube channel, buddy. For the amount of things that you've seen in your city with the type of driving and drivers that are out there, you would look at Wham Bam Tesla Cam, how that formed itself in the last year
people
probably.
send him clips. I wouldn't need that.
Yeah, no,
I just
but
have to go on a drive and I get my clips for me. Okay, so I tracked the number of times people went through reds. I'm not talking late yellows. I'm talking full out reds. And I tracked them over a week. I got 4 reds in a 5 days drive.
don't they have red light cameras there?
Only I think they're up to 22 of them now in my city.
Only.
Well, I
And-
say only because it's not enough.
Oh, I know. Well, you're in a big city, right?
Yeah, there's almost 700,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's not small.
And out of those 22 in here, at least here in the GTA, Greater Toronto area, where we have a lot of red light cameras. Basically, it's a camera in a box on the side of the road that detects people that are running red lights with a radar and everything. And it's sophisticated, anyways. But we have a lot of them, and they're growing. The cities and municipalities and the province are putting in more and more to curb dangerous driving habits like running red lights, which is I totally agree with. It's public safety and road safety come first. Is it a cash grab? Yeah, and I'm not going to get into that debate. But they're not. What my point is, before I went off on this tangent, is they don't. As much as they have them in all these locations, they don't always have a camera in all the locations. I've been told and I've seen that they actually take the camera out and move it to another location. They cycle through locations with the camera. So you may see the flash going off because the computer is already running and programmed, but there may not be a camera in there to catch you. So
I didn't know that because I know
You
they
didn't know
have
that?
moved.
No.
I know they have moved them. I just didn't realize that was normal behavior. I figured they weren't making enough money off the location they put it on. So
yeah. Well, sometimes it's that. Maybe it's time of day. Maybe it's time of the month stuff too. Like that they catch more people. Darren, do you have red light cameras in your neck of the woods?
We used to, not. We don't have them anymore.
They're
so you
outlawed.
abide by the red light.
The system works.
I had heard something similar that they're not, even though they flash, the cameras move around between them, so they're not always. They might be active, but they're not actually taking pictures.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a question. What will be your first delegated task to the Tesla bot?
Oh, didn't we have this question a few
I don't know. Answer it,
podcasts
Dex.
before?
Don't
Oh, no,
worry
no,
about the past. It's all
he-
about the future, the present day.
Jeff's asking you, Franklin, because I'm not gonna get a bot, but you said you're gonna get one.
I
you
never
wanna
said
get
I was
every-
going to get one.
Hey, for the fans,
I probably will, yeah. I'm not going to lie.
yeah. So what's
I
the
buy
first thing you
everything
can get
Tesla.
into? Vacuum, make you a cup of coffee, wake you up. Like it's an expensive alarm clock.
Darren, you want to answer it? I got to think it through. Like, that's a big moment for society, for life.
Drive.
No, I wouldn't drive with it.
Has anyone seen the preview or even the movie yet of the new Tom Hanks Apple movie called Finch?
No.
What movie? Sorry,
It's called Finch. It's Tom Hanks in it, and it's from Apple. Did I say Apple Music? Sorry, Apple Plus TV subscription or whatever.
Oh, it's only on there.
Apparently, yeah. Well,
Oh, that service.
yeah. Well, you can get it other places, I'm sure, but
You're suggesting to pirate Dax?
listen. My point is, I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to see it. My wife and I watched the preview, and she's like, "Oh, it looks really good. I want to watch it." So now I can't watch it until we have time to watch it together. Which, anyways, I was gonna say something, but in that movie, and I'm not giving anything away or spoiling because it's in the preview. He makes a robot, and he has the robot drive for him, and he's teaching the robot how to drive I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but in the preview,
But why
it's
would
pretty
you
cool.
have the robot drive if we have FSD?
I guess in his apocalyptic future that it took place in, maybe FSD never came in time.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me that the society's capable enough to build a robot that's able to learn how to drive, but
I know
not
it.
capable enough to build a car that's able to drive on its own?
I haven't seen the movie, buddy. Maybe it was an old relic antique that he got in this. You got to see the preview, and then I guess you got to see the main
Okay,
movie.
so I'll just
Maybe
watch the
explain.
preview and that'd be good enough. You gotta see the preview, Darren.
Yeah. See the tangent we got off
Right,
on.
right after
We're
the
gonna put the
Frenchie.
Tesla bot.
Darren, what's your first task?
Probably like unpacking the dishwasher or something really stupid like that.
Yeah, you
Doing
gotta
the
get
laundry.
a medial task that we hate to do.
I'd make me sushi. See if I really get my money's worth out of the
Oh
bot.
my god! Really? That's what you would first do?
Yeah. You know how much money I can save if it's able to do it well?
How much sushi do you eat a week?
I refuse to answer that.
Okay. Wow.
Nah, probably once a week.
Oh,
Okay. I'm a little disappointed by that answer. I was much more thinking
Like over this past week.
it's only Wednesday.
Nah, all jokes aside, I've scaled back to once a week because it is fairly expensive.
And high mercury levels in your body.
Nah, don't worry about that.
No, you should.
There's
Anyways.
a point in time where it's like 2.5 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special occasions.
Yeah, only special. Special occasions. You gotta come visit me on Saturday. Special cake. Remind me later. I'll tell you.
People are tuning into the podcast right now and it says Tesla Talks podcast, and we're talking about sushi. Are probably wondering what's going on. And then before that they were talking about robots in the movie Finch.
Oh, okay. I got a Tesla story for you.
You just had one. Stop dominating the conversation again.
I don't
Yeah,
have a Tesla story. I don't have a Tesla story, so
You don't?
go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you do.
So my friends in the Tesla community showed me a really good cake that he got for his daughter's birthday. So now I want to order one of those cakes. So we're doing a group buy to bring the price of the cake down, so we can get one of these special cakes. We're getting in on Saturday.
Oh really? How much is it? How much is the cake?
So you
Can you
pay
say?
50. Don't quote me. I think it's like $55 for 1 pound, $70 for 1.5 pounds, or $100 for 5 pounds. So we want to buy the 5 pounds and bring the price down. So basically, what it works out to is I can get twice the amount of cake for the same price I would have paid for 1.5 pounds because of the group buy.
Do you
I
understand
think
how much
way
5
too
pounds?
way too much thought went into that.
Yes, exactly. 5 pounds of cake is a lot of cake.
Oh, no, I'm not getting 5 pounds though. That's why it's a
How
group
many?
buy.
How many people are in on the 5 pounds?
Well, we're potentially getting 4, but we're still going back and forth.
Wow.
But anyway, we're getting group buy on cake, and I did this through the Tesla community.
1.25 pounds of cake is still a lot of cake, frankly.
I'm not eating it all. I'm gonna share. That's what I'm saying. Come Saturday. I'm keeping to the topic.
No. Well, you know what? At least we're talking cakes, but at least it's Tesla cakes.
Well, it has nothing to do with Tesla, the cake itself. It's just a group buy through my Tesla friends that I made in the community.
Okay. So is this person or company that makes cakes for like? Because I know a lot of like my mother-in-law. She had a small business where she made birthday cakes and special occasion cakes, and you should see some of these extravagant cakes that she used to make, like
Oh, it looks amazing.
creative. Yeah.
When he shared the photo, I was like, man, I gotta get one of those things. And I kept going back to look at it.
What
and
is
I'm
it?
like,
The tea?
no, it's a 7-layer mango cake.
No, but is it in the shape of a Tesla?
No, it has nothing. No, I'm just
I think-
eating it with my Tesla friends.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Franklin. I thought it was a Tesla cake. Did you not think it was a Tesla cake too, Darren? Or did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Thanks,
see,
Darren.
okay.
I appreciate you listening to the story with detail.
I thought it was a Tesla. Wow.
All right. So, anyways,
What's the
that's
pricing?
the extent of my stories.
What's the pricing for this cake again?
Well, we're going for the $100 for 5 pounds.
Yeah,
So
I
if you want it
guess.
in the group buy, it's not too late. We got shares.
Can you bring it to my house?
No, you got to come pick it up.
I'm
Don't you
not
want to see
coming.
what? Don't you want to see what you're buying first?
Yeah, good point. But no, I'm not going to his town.
We gotta bring down the average price of cake. See, hold on a second. So this is kind of what Tesla's doing, right? They're trying to bring down the average car the prices by getting better prices
Price of
on
the
the
car.
components, right?
You're equating what Tesla's doing to cake.
Yep. The Tesla Talks
Wow,
podcast.
wow! It all comes full circle, right back to the demand. Before we go, actually, sorry, Darren, you said you didn't have a story. You sure, right? Okay,
No, I don't.
no pressure. Franklin, if you don't have any more Tesla cake stories, do we want to mention our drive happening on the 11th
Sure.
for,
Uh,
for the two people that may not know?
there is a Actually, there's a lot of good stuff happening on the 11th. It's not just ours.
No,
If you're out in the like California area, they're doing a toy event on the 11th.
a toy drive.
Yeah, so you can do that. East Bay, Silicon Valley, and a couple of the other ones there, like the lesser known. They're all doing that there on the 11th. Then we have New York. So if you're in the state of New York, there's an 11th uh, food event as well, like a food drive event. So they have it there. And then if you're in the Toronto area, we have a food drive on the 11th. So it just seems the 11th is just like a Tesla event day of giving back.
Yeah. So if you're in any of those areas, and you feel like wanting to contribute to your neighborhood, uh, go check online. And you gave the websites, right?
No. So
Well, they
for
can search. They could Google it.
yeah, just search it up for the Toronto area. It's TeslaGTA.com. Silicon Valley Club. Just type in Tesla Silicon Valley. You'll find that. New York. He does a spectacular job with New York State Club. So you can search up New York Tesla Club. I believe it's not on the 11th, but I believe there's one happening in Ottawa and Montreal as well. And there was one out in Vancouver, I believe. But
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one out in Vancouver. I think that one's on the 4th of
Okay.
December.
So a lovely lady running that one. So
Vancouver Island. Um, there's got to be drives, not everywhere, but yeah. The Ottawa one, they may be doing it on the organizer's going to get back to me, but they may be doing it on the 11th also, or maybe the 4th. But if I find out before now and then, I'll put it in my on my Facebook page, and check it out there. Speaking of Facebook pages and social media, we're going to go through the whole thing that we always go through. It sounds so boring, but that's the only thing I know to say is where can people find you guys? We'll start with Darren, our guest of honor. Sorry, Franklin.
DriveTeslaCanada.ca.
Yes, you have it right there.
Yeah, you can find everything else, all the social media links on the site as well.
Do you Oh, hello. You changed it back, right, Franklin? Darren, do you do anything with and pardon my ignorance if you do, but I'm going to ask anyways and out myself. Anything on Instagram?
I do have an Instagram. I used to do more on it, but lately I haven't done much, so should probably get back to it. But I do have Instagram as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm terrible with Instagram. I have one. I can't remember the last time I put anything on it. Franklin, you want to unmute yourself and tell people where they can find you other than orbiting?
Twitter M Frunker and YouTube Mother Frunker whenever I decide to post videos, which is sporadic.
Your last video of that little glitch was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I never
neat.
thought of that. Yeah, nice little short.
You can get pretty crazy with that glitch. Basically, there's a glitch in the Tesla app where you can keep adding icons beyond the 4.
Do you think I should have brought it up as a topic, but I'll just ask you guys quickly. Do you think that they're gonna, as they update the app, they're gonna kill that, or embrace it even, and maybe make it 5?
Well, you can do more than 5.
Can you do more than 5?
I realized afterwards you can do basically unlimited. You can add every single icon on their bar. Just a bar like.
Oh, it looks stupid though.
Oh yeah, it looks bad. 5.
Do you just continue doing the same method of like pushing it all the way to the right?
But there's like a 2-finger thing where you like hold your finger on the one, you just keep dragging all the icons up.
Okay, because you're talking obviously the Android one, and I heard it was easier on that on the iOS one. It's pretty tricky. It took me a while to get it. So I can't. And I was told, is it the same thing on the Android one? Once you get it to 5, you can't go back to 4.
Android's super easy to go back to 4. If you
Oh,
go back to the main screen of your app, just hold your finger down on the app, go to app info, and then clear the app cache, and poof, you're back down to 4.
oh okay. Well, uh, last time I heard, and this was early when it first was breaking news, the iOS guys said that once you have 5, you can't go back to 4. That
Yeah,
they may have found a way.
no, I don't know if you can because of the fundamental difference between how iOS works and Android.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I couldn't figure out a way to do it either without clearing cache.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, it's you know what? I think 5 looks more natural. I mean, I get it why they did 4. They wanted to space everything out more and have people, you know, with people with different size fingers, maybe not hit the wrong one accidentally.
Also, you can also find Gary Mark at Blue Sky Kites.
Yes, Blue Skies Kites.
For anyone
Blue
interested.
Sky Kites. Gary,
He's a good
that's
guy.
it. Yeah, Gary's awesome. Okay, guys, thank you very much. This podcast went almost 2 hours, and I didn't mean to, but we were having fun at the end there. Thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. Like I always say, guys, I can't do this without you guys. I could, and I'm sure I will one of these days not have you guys available, and I'll do a podcast, and I'll be by myself, and we'll see how it goes. But
Wouldn't that be like any of your other Tesla videos?
more the merrier. Yes, yes, but not as polished. Not to say my Tesla videos are polished, but that's got to say much of how it would be with nobody. Thanks for coming on, guys. I appreciate it. Anyone down in the Gary Mark has a question. Hold on. You have a question, Gary?
I like
He's
how
putting
you
his
just put
hand
it
up.
on here and it's like black and white. It removes the color.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, will there be a holiday update? Quickly.
I
before-
wouldn't hold my breath.
Yes, there will be.
Okay. Is that?
Are you saying that with knowledge, or are you
Yeah.
saying that as
I'm saying that with confidence based on there being holiday updates for the 3 years in a row. And Elon will force the engineers to put up something. Will it be a good holiday update? Who knows?
How
But there
many
will be
fires?
something.
How many flames?
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd still
it
love
could
to
be
know. I'd still love to know what exactly was in that. What was supposed to be in that update to make it 2 flames, 3 flames, whatever he said.
Yeah.
Do you guys think even if he said it the holiday update this year, when he puts the poop emoji, you're telling me we won't get something for the holiday update?
Oh, maybe he should do. If Elon, anyone knows Elon, tell him to do this poop emoji this year.
Like, so the likelihood of us getting a new game, as dumb as that sounds, that's still something for the holiday update, is it not?
You're right. It does sound
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
You're right.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I was in the middle of saying goodbye, but thanks for that question, Gary. You guys, thanks to all the people in the chat, like Gary and all the other guys that participated and intervened
Hopefully,
and
Northern Tesla
helped.
figures out his cooler situation.
His cooler
USB or
situation.
regular, yeah.
yeah. Hopefully he does because well, he's no. Anyways, we could keep going for 2 hours. Thanks for
All
coming
right,
on
see
the
you
show,
later.
guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.